Welcome, everyone. We're very excited to have you joining us on our TikTok Shop office hours. My name's Megan. I'm joining from Barcelona, and I'm a product marketing manager here at Gelato. I'm excited to be joined by Toby, who's our product manager, and Andrew, who's our global head of social media. They're going to be sharing all types of tips and tricks and all of their expertise about TikTok Shop. So we're very excited to share that with you. So before we go ahead and get started, just wanted to share a few housekeeping items. So we have everyone muted for audio, but if you have any questions, please feel free to pop those in the chat box on the right-hand side of the screen so we can try and answer some of those during this session. We are going to aim for the session to be about 30 minutes unless we go over time with some extra questions. And this session will be recorded. So after the session, we will send it to all of you over the next couple of days. And if you have any colleagues or friends that weren't able to make it, feel free to go ahead and share the recording with them as well. Okay, so with that out of the way, please welcome Toby and Andrew.
Hi everyone, I'm Toby. I'm based in London, and yeah, it's great to see lots of familiar names on the call today.
Yeah, and hi, I'm Angie. I'm also based in London, and yeah, I'm excited to talk to you about TikTok Shop today. So let's get into it.
Perfect. So today's agenda, we got a ton of questions from you guys before the session. So we've created a short presentation to just kind of touch on some of the basic questions and answers. So we'll go through that first, then we'll jump into a live demo that Toby will lead with a few of the more kind of technically complicated setups that you'll have to do while setting up your TikTok shop. And then we will jump into a more thorough Q&A session at the end. So first, let's go through an intro to TikTok Shop. So what is TikTok Shop? We're going to hear TikTok Shop said a lot throughout this webinar, so apologies in advance for that. TikTok Shop was launched back in 2021 after there was the big wave of use of TikTok during COVID in 2020, and it has rapidly expanded across the globe to reach millions of consumers. And this allows people to sell their products in-app through the TikTok Shop app instead of on a third-party platform, for example, Shopify, Amazon, etc. So you are able to sell through live in-app shopping, whether that's on a video, a live stream, or just in the shop tab. And right now, TikTok Shop is only available in the US, UK, and a handful of countries in Southeast Asia as well. So it's not currently available in other markets, for example, Canada or across the EU. So why sell on TikTok Shop? So this is a really exciting platform. TikTok has been growing exponentially, not just their user base in terms of personal use TikTok, but also on TikTok Shop. So in the US alone, there will be almost 36 million users of TikTok Shop by the end of this year. Insane. There's incredibly high engagement on the TikTok platform. So looking just at the US, people spend on average almost a full hour on TikTok per day, which is a lot, interacting with both regular content and shopping content as well. 55% of users are also making purchases after seeing products on TikTok Shop. So it's a very engaging platform. One of the other things that's very exciting about TikTok Shop is it allows people to sell content or sorry, products in different forms of content. So you could either host a live shopping channel where you're speaking live, showing products. You could have videos that are shoppable, so a video that kind of links to a product. You could also have your in-app storefront. So it gives you as a creator and also your customers a different kind of shopping experience, and you can tailor that to what you and your customers prefer. In the UK, TikTok Shop is also growing very rapidly. 10% of UK shoppers have already purchased via TikTok Shop. And of course, the hot topic reaching Gen Z, over 50% of Gen Z use TikTok for shopping, both in the platform and for products externally. So this is super critical for reaching that demographic and younger as well. So why sell on TikTok Shop with gelato? So there's a few things that we took into consideration while building this integration to make sure that it was super valuable for you as a seller. So first of all, making sure that you can deliver quality products at speed. So we have curated a catalog of products that are ready to go for TikTok and will meet SLA requirements, which we'll dive into a little bit later in the webinar, so that you can make sure that your shop is always selling and meeting all of TikTok's requirements. Being prepared to go viral. Of course, we've seen some of our customers already have a TikTok or two go viral. And one of the beautiful things about selling with print on demand, a platform like Gelato, is that you're able to meet that demand. You don't have to worry about hosting that inventory yourself, and sending out all those orders if you, for example, have a TikTok go viral. We'll handle all the production for you. And then, of course, you want to meet consumer needs. More and more people are shifting towards social selling, and you really want to be able to make sure that you can meet your audience where they are shopping. So a lot of people are exploring new social selling channels. TikTok is, of course, one of them, as well as others like Instagram, for example. So we're very excited about this integration. One key thing here is there are a few things that you need to set up on both the TikTok and Gelato side, which Toby will dive into later. But the actual integration itself is very easy. You integrate in just a few clicks, which is very helpful to get up and running. Currently, our integration is available in the US marketplace and the UK marketplace. So that means anyone can sell in those marketplaces regardless of where you are located. However, consumers will only be able to purchase in those markets. So, for example, people in Canada will not be able to order from the marketplace. People in France, for example, will not be able because TikTok Shop is not available in those markets. We currently do not have an integration available for the Asian markets. And then, of course, you can choose from our product catalog, and every single product available has been curated to make sure that it will be able to meet TikTok's delivery requirements, which again, we will dive into in a little bit. We will dive into it right now, actually. So what are SLAs? Toby, I'm going to pass this one to you. Do you mind explaining what SLAs are?
Yeah, sure. So TikTok holds sellers on the platform to certain performance metrics or service level agreements or SLAs. If you don't meet these service level agreements, your account on TikTok will be at risk of being penalized or suspended. And believe me, they do this very fast, so this isn't something to mess around with. So the main SLA for us that we're concerned about is the late dispatch rate SLA. So TikTok will class an order as late if it isn't dispatched within 3 business days at the moment. And sellers must keep their late dispatch rate below 4% on average. So in order to help you guys achieve this, we've recommended a range of products which we're very confident we can fulfill within that late dispatch rate SLA. So a few things to kind of bear in mind here, because us dispatching the product very promptly is so important here. If you have maybe manual order review in your Gelato account enabled, we need to be really on top of this and make sure we're reviewing the orders as soon as they come into your account. So there's nothing holding up us getting the order dispatched as soon as possible. Another thing to bear in mind here, if you already have a TikTok seller account, you might see the dispatch time as 2 business days. So TikTok have already started moving from 3 business days to 2 business days. But this isn't anything to be alarmed about right now. TikTok have assured us that they're still going to honor the 3 business day dispatch time at the moment. And we're in discussions with TikTok to get this the 2 or 3 business day dispatch time. We're in discussions with them to get this increased to benefit print on demand platforms. So yeah, I think Megan, do you want to go to the next slide?
Awesome. Thanks, Toby. Okay, so we've learned a little bit about TikTok Shop, just very top level. So how do you actually get a TikTok Shop up and running? So first things first is to create a TikTok sellers account, which is different than a personal account that you would use to actually scroll through TikTok. So once you've set up a TikTok sellers account for either the US or the UK or both, if you're interested in selling both markets, you will need two separate accounts. Then once your account is created, then you have to set up warehouse and shipping settings, which Toby will dive into with the live demo. And then you will be able to integrate your TikTok shop to Gelato, which is really just a click of a button, very easy. Once the integration has been approved and is connected, then you're ready to go ahead and start selling your products. So you can go into your Gelato account, add your products from the TikTok Ready catalog, add your designs to the product, and publish them straight to your TikTok. One thing to keep in mind is you're going to want to set up your billing and payments on both the TikTok side and the Gelato side. On the TikTok side, it's so that you're able to get paid once start to receive orders. And on the Gelato side, it's so that your orders will be processed and dispatched immediately, kind of touching on Toby's comment around SLAs. If you don't have billing, there's going to be that lag there where your payment won't go through, and then we may not be able to meet the SLA requirements of dispatching within 3 days. So setting up shipping and setting up a warehouse. This has been one of the most asked questions we have gotten for the session today. So Toby's going to dive into a live demo for us and also set up some TikTok Shop shipping profiles as well. So I will stop sharing screen and I will pass it over to you, Toby, to take it away.
Okay, so sharing now. Let me know if you guys, I think you can all see my screen, hopefully. So great. So firstly, this is the TikTok sellers area account, which some of you will already have access to. So within here, firstly, I'm going to show you an important step. So setting up your warehouses. So to do this, you'd go into orders on the left-hand side here. You can go into fulfillment settings. And then here you've got, oh, I don't know if you can see. Here you've got warehouse settings. If you go into setup, and I've already populated this with a warehouse. So you'll need to provide a warehouse for your pickup warehouse and your return warehouse. You can do this by clicking on the Add Warehouse button here. As I say, I've already added one, so I can just go on Edit. So here I've added in my warehouse name and the address. So Gelato, if you check out the Gelato Help Center pages, we provide the warehouse addresses that you can use here, both for the US and for the UK. If I go down to here, yeah. So this is a very important step, and if you don't do this step, I think your products will probably they won't pass the review step when you try and publish them. So important that you do this from the very beginning before you start publishing products. If I click X, the next important step I'll show you in here is setting up your shipping templates. So if I go back to orders and fulfillment settings, and then shipping and delivery. And you can actually get to it by clicking on switch option. And here, if you go on under seller shipping and go on view templates. And yeah, so we need to add our first shipping template. So if I go on create, so I'll create a new template. So firstly, just give it a name. So Gelato shipping plates. And then we recommend that you use quantity-based shipping. And you have to offer standard shipping. This is a default option from TikTok. So you'd put in the price that you want to offer this shipping for. So let's put in 5 here. After the webinar, we'll send instructions on more detailed instructions on how to set this up, and we'll also share a link to a page where you can find the Gelato rates to use for here. But so you have to, like I say, you have to offer standard shipping. It's then up to you if you want to offer free economy as well. just bear in mind, obviously it's free, so the cost of the gelato shipping is going to be, well, you need to account for this in your product listing costs, if you decide to offer free, but you don't have to offer free. And then we recommend that you don't enable express shipping at the moment, due to the fact that with express shipping, you've only got 4 business days for the order to be delivered to the end customer. So very quite unlikely that that would happen on time. So we'd suggest avoiding enabling this option at the moment. So that's setting up your shipping templates. And then the other thing I'd like to show also, if we go back a step, actually, if I go back to this tab, so back within your fulfillment settings and shipping and delivery, I would say this is probably the most important step. And this is currently this is TikTok shipping. If you click this button here, the most important step is making sure you enable seller shipping. If you don't enable this option, then Gelato is not going to be able to fulfill your orders. So if you keep it as TikTok shipping, then we won't receive the shipping address and all of the information we need to be able to ensure that your product ends up with your customer. So make sure you click on seller shipping and OK. I think that's everything from me for now. So I can stop sharing and pass it back to you, Megan.
Great, thank you. One second. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. So let's dive into a few of the questions that you've asked ahead of time. So we've compiled the most frequently asked, and then we'll have some time at the end to ask any that you have in the chat as well, if we weren't able to address them during the session today. So first question that we received quite a few of was, do I need to have a business account to use the integration? So as I sort of touched on earlier, there's a couple of different types of accounts you can have for TikTok as a whole. There's a TikTok personal account, which is the one that you have if you have TikTok on your phone and scrolling through and watching TikToks. And then separately, there is a TikTok shop account, which is a different login that you will have to create on the TikTok shop website. You can use your personal account to log into a TikTok shop account, but it is a separate profile. So you will still need to take that action to go and create the TikTok shop account. Once you've created that, you can set it up to either be an individual seller, if you're a sole proprietor selling your goods online, or if you're corporate and you are already a registered business. So those are questions that you will answer once you actually create the shop account. If you are in your regular TikTok app and you're not able to see how to create a TikTok shop, it's because you haven't created that account yet. So that one came up quite a bit. And then the next was, which products can I actually sell on TikTok shop? Toby, could you explain to us which products are available?
Yeah, sure. So on the left here, you've got a screenshot from our help center. And I'll be sure to share the link to this article after the webinar as well. But in the UK and the US, we're offering very similar, we're recommending that you use similar products. Apart from the fact in the UK, we're also recommending that you can use frame canvas, hardcover photo books, also bottles and mugs. But the products which we recommend you use are more or less the same in both countries. It's important to note that embroidery, we don't recommend you use embroidery on TikTok due to the longer production times. And if you do try to list a product, which we don't recommend you use on TikTok, and just to clarify, the reason why we don't recommend you list certain products is so we can make sure you meet these late dispatch rate times. We don't want your account to get in trouble for breaching those SLAs. But if you do try to list products which would breach these SLAs, you'll see the warnings that are on the right-hand side here. So warnings saying that you won't meet the dispatch requirements. And then if you try and list the product, you'll get this pop up at the bottom as well. Yeah, Megan, back to you.
Fantastic. Thank you. And then, of course, we received a lot of questions about marketing on TikTok as well. TikTok is a fairly new channel that's only really popped up in the last kind of few years. And not only is it a new channel for selling on the platform, but also using the platform for content as well. Excuse me. So I wanted to pass this one to Andrew. Andrew, how do you make content for TikTok? How do you understand the algorithm? We've received a bunch of different questions on how to market on TikTok.
Yeah, well, I mean, TikTok is just an absolute powerhouse for selling through organic content. I actually believe one of our Spotlight sellers, since the integration launch, doesn't actually use any paid spend. Everything they sell is through the power of organic content. I'd say creating effective content for TikTok Shop, it requires real focus on authenticity, trends, and engagement. And if you're just getting started, I'd really recommend just starting with short, visually appealing videos that really showcase your videos naturally. And try to do this within like a storyline or a relatable context. For TikTok especially, people love to say that the best ads aren't really ads at all. Definitely use the tools that TikTok provides as well. That means use the popular sounds, trending hashtags, and add text overlays to increase accessibility. Visual content is so important. I think a nice fact, a study by I think Verizon found that about 25% of people actually watch TikTok on mute. So if you're going to make it really visually appealing, you're going to unlock a quarter of your audience there. One of the most important things as well is an engaging hook. That's so important. A hook is like the first 3 seconds of a video that helps keep a viewer interested. It determines maybe if they're going to watch the rest of the video. If you're familiar with TikTok and you've seen some TikTok Shop videos, you might see one. A lot of people will use the hook. Someone's getting fired for this before revealing like an amazing deal for 100 rolls of toilet paper for just $1.99. That's super entertaining, and it builds intrigue and convinces audiences to just keep watching for that extra bit of content. And then if they're buying at the end of it, that's even better for you. Don't be afraid to experiment as well. Use different formats, use tutorials, do unboxings, show customer testimonials, and don't be afraid to repeat yourself as well. You might get a few flops, but a potential viral moment might just be around the corner. And ultimately, consistency is key. Regularly, adapt your content based on feedback, use analytics, etc. For the algorithm itself, it's not the Coca-Cola secret recipe. Luck can factor into it, but ultimately, it's going to prioritize content based on user engagement, relevance, and the video quality itself. And again, that's why good content is so key. It's going to evaluate things like likes, shares, comments, watch time, profile visits, and for TikTok Shop as well, purchases. So that means videos of high interaction, they're more likely to be promoted. Key elements again, use your trending sounds and hashtags, participate in the trends, but also don't aim for such a broad church appeal. The For You page that you're probably used to scrolling through, that's curated uniquely for each user. So find a niche content bucket that you can really dig into, that your ideal customer will love. And again, consistency is there. Post frequently, make sure they're high quality, and that's going to signal the algorithm to keep showing your content. And I think, we've talked a bit about creating content there. And I think it's important to emphasize, I think Megan touched on it a little bit, you don't actually need a TikTok channel to run a business on TikTok Shop. Likewise, and I still recommend that you don't actually need to make TikTok to promote your goods. And that's where the TikTok Shop's affiliate program comes in. This is such an interesting one. So if you've been through TikTok and you've seen TikTok Shop content, generally you've been watching content that's created by an affiliate. The affiliate program connects creators and sellers through their creativity, and essentially you provide them with a commission. So for sellers, you can find creators who will create content for you, sell your product for you, and you only need to pay them when they make a sale. And this is done automatically through TikTok. So as a seller, you've got a few options in this space. The first one is open collaboration. So you can let affiliate creators discover and promote your products. They take a cut of the sale when they sell. So you kind of upload your products to affiliate marketplace, and they can find you. You also have the choice for target collaboration. They take a cut of your sale when they sell again, but this time you can choose the creators that you want to work with and reach out to them. Unlike some platforms, TikTok Shop doesn't actually impose a minimum commission rate, and that's very useful and not like other affiliate platforms. So brands like you can set their own commission rate. 0% is not allowed. You do need to pay them something, but that flexibility means that you can give them like a really attractive offer and helps you to manage your budget much more effectively. You can also send samples to creators. You can do that at the flat rate that Gelato sells the products, and that's also going to help you get some really engaging content there. You know, when you show an actual product in use, that's when you expect conversion rates to be higher. So if you're interested in you know, the TikTok Shop affiliates, just head to your Seller Center and go to affiliates and get started there. Yeah, back to you, Megan. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks for the very thorough answer on that one. The next question that we received from a few people is personalization possible on TikTok? Toby, is personalization currently available on TikTok?
Unfortunately, it's not. TikTok don't provide the ability for customers to input personalized text or images at the moment. We would love for them to do this, and hopefully one day they will. But yeah, at the moment, it's not possible. Yeah, sorry about that.
And that was kind of the bulk of the pre-asked questions we received covered in the presentation. We'll leave the floor open for a few minutes in the chat now if there's any other questions that have popped up. Okay, so what have the most popular products been on TikTok Shop so far? Toby, do you want to take that one?
Yeah, so I mean, we're seeing a range of products really. So calendars, apparel, mugs, phone cases, and actually, I've just seen a question around canvas and wall art. Both of these we can offer within the 3-day dispatch time frame. So yeah, hopefully I've just answered 2 questions in one there.
Perfect. And then we've also received a question around being available in other markets. So if people outside of the US and UK can order, we kind of touched on this one, but no, unfortunately. So right now, Gelato's integration is only available for sellers selling to the US and the UK. Unfortunately, we're not available yet in the Asian markets where TikTok Shop is available. And then aside from that, the limitation is on TikTok Shop side. So they do not currently support any other markets for selling as well. And then we've got how to grow my following on TikTok. So any suggestions, Andrew, on how people can get more followers on their organic TikTok channel?
Yeah, I mean, followership is super important. You know, people trust brands more when they have more followers. So building that's super important. I think the keyword there is probably value. People are very willing to lend likes and shares to bits of content that pop up in the feed, but they're not so likely to follow an account unless they see the value in returning to that account in future. So, you know, think about the niche again. What is your account achieving? Are you educating, informing, inspiring? Or are you doing entertaining skits? So, you know, find your niche, do tutorials, do products and use case studies, do your skits, work out what works and what's building your followers, and then just rinse and repeat. And just kind of, you know, use the building blocks for that. You're building a community as well. So, you know, engage with them, reply to their comments, extend that reach by liking and commenting on posts away from your account, and create that loyalty there as well. yeah, and just kind of have fun with it, and be personable because people really love authentic accounts on that platform. Thanks. I think
Fantastic. I can say from personal use, I know that for the most part, I only use the For You page. But it's still like those same people who keep popping up on my For You page, even if I don't follow them. So definitely agree with the stick to a niche because once you kind of get hooked on that one trend, I feel like you see it repeat, repeat, repeat. So it definitely works. At least it's working for me for sure.
yeah, totally.
Okay.
I was going to say, I think it's just a question down the TikTok affiliate sales as well. Just on any tips, I would say just keep like a very open kind of strategy to it. Stick it onto the open collaboration. That's kind of like a no win, no fee way to do it. And if you want to kind of employ a bit more of a deeper affiliate strategy, go out and find those creators within your niche. And I would potentially recommend also offering to give them a sample to allow them to create content with. But you'll see that all on the affiliates platform on the TikTok website as well.
Fantastic. Okay, then I think that kind of covers our session for today. If you have any technical questions, please feel free to reach out to Toby for support there. We will also be sending a follow-up email to all the participants today with the recording of the webinar, as well as some links to some helpful resources if you have any additional questions or need any other tips or tricks. So thank you all so much for joining us. We hope this session has made you feel confident to go ahead and start your own TikTok shop wherever you are located. Have a great rest of your day.